Welcome back to the gardens. It's part 3 of the Friday morning wander round. Just having a pull out there, as you can see. We're now onto the long border, which is really the final section of the gardens. I don't tend to show the lawn unless I need to, but it does get its fair share of daisies and buttercups. So what are we looking at? Well, let's have a see. You see this one here? It's a Japanese anemone, and it's a pair, one of a pair. And when I bought them, you'll have heard this story before, but when I bought them, I thought it was one plant, and when I had a proper look, I discovered it was two. So I thought, right old bargain. I paid something stupid, like maybe £1.79 or something like that from a well-known supermarket. Not Aldi, no, actually Morrison's. This one, what's this one? Well, this one also came from Morrison's. It's something like, and I always say it wrong, and it's in my head, and it's something, it's like Diatrus or Dietsu, or anyway, it begins with D, and it's about 5 or 6 letters, and it looks like Diet Russ, but it's probably not. I don't like to call it detritus, but yeah, so it gets these lovely white flowers, and it adds just that little bit of extra to the garden. I don't think it attracts bees, to be honest, but who knows, maybe they'll come when I'm not looking. So we've got the Japanese anemone, as I've just said. Then we've got this one, which is another one. It's a plant that always get mixed up with something else, and it gets white flowers that look like bells with gold bits on them, and then there's also it gets red tipped leaves on. Here it's just a hodgepodge really. There's climbers, and I don't know what they're called, but never mind, they get little flowers on, that little pink you can see there. So a little bit of added extra interest in the garden. And as you can see just here, we've got that dark one there. That's a separate plant, and I think it's a form of honeysuckle. What else? Well, we've got one of the Japanese maples. There's one at the back that you'll have seen, and this one is an orange maple. Not very orange at the moment, no, but apparently very tough to grow in our climate, in our general gardens. But this one's done really well. It's about 6 years old now, and it always goes a lovely orange. And when we reach the autumn time, and it's lovely lime yellow in the summertime. I was told it'd be really tough to grow, and I have to say, for the first 3-4 years, it did nothing. It just sat there looking very sorry for itself. And then there was a period during the lockdowns, and it just shot up and went billy-o mad. This one is a self-plant, a self-seed. We don't know the name of it. It can be quite invasive and be a weed in a lot of people's gardens, but we keep it under control, so it fills up a lovely space where you wouldn't know what to put, and it's actually, I would say, almost halfway along the fence. Maybe the maple is in the middle. So it kind of gives you a clue as to how long the gardens are. Down here we've got the shamrock. That comes every year, and that was here when we moved in, so we've never done anything about it. And then we come to, can you see that there? I'm sure you can't, but I'll try to get myself in. There we are. That used to be the step, the Brenton step, where we used to talk to the neighbours. And then when Lorraine passed away, we stopped using the step quite so much. But we did used to use it occasionally when we were talking to Bernard next door. And then when Bernard passed away, the family said to us, was there anything that we wanted from the garden? from their garden, so we took this little pot as a little memory of them. And in there it's got some fake planting, it's got some house leeks, it's got bulbs, it's got all sorts of little hodgepodge of this and that. And in the springtime, that's also a nice little thing to look at. What else have we got? Well, here we go with the second of the two Japanese anemones. What colour, you're asking yourself? Well, there are various colours. There was sort of an orangey colour, I think, but ours are the pink ones, the pink variety, and they don't tend to flower until July. So usually it's the case that we will wander off on our holidays, and when we come back, it's wow, where did all that lovely pink come from? So now having a little look round the gardens. Now, there's if you remember, there was a film director called Alfred Hitchcock, yeah, and he developed a way of creating tension in films by panning to the left, because naturally our sight of line, or our eye line, likes to go from left to right, but when you go from right to left, it's tension, it's oh, something's happening. But in this case, I'm just panning round to show you what we've got in the long border and how it relates to what we've got in the gardens as a whole. Here we've got what I call the ornamental thistle. It's not, I know you'll know different. And then we've got this little scrabby bit just here, which is a work in process. I can promise you there is a plan to do something with this area, and it's just here. So we had to take out a ginormous fir. It had got it had got very high, and it just kind of was blocking out light, and it wasn't really doing anything. It was getting a bit scrabby. So we eventually took it down and left what you can just see is a post, a bit of trunk. And someone online had said to me, why don't you drill down, put a post in there, and then you can attach all your solar panels for all your lighting and other bits and bobs in the garden. I said, yeah, that's a brilliant idea. So that is what we plan to do. A couple more solar panels here. The one on the left is actually newer than the one on the right. The one on the left is powering ivy with LED lights in it, and the one on the right is powering bumblebees, metal bumblebees with LED lighting in those, and they are in the sun trap. There you can see a bit of a column, it's an obelisk. It was a lovely supermarket find. Unfortunately, due to the weather, we've lost the clematis that was in there. They were bright purple, they were beautiful. I think we had 6 this year, and we've only ever had 1 previously, so we've done really well. We've got a little bit of extra ground cover there, you can see, and there are some weeds and some bits and bobs that I will have to pull out when the weather's better and it's cooler and I can spend a lot longer time in the garden. So we've got a bit of this stuff, as you can see, it goes everywhere and it gets the yellow flowers on, and it's wonderful stuff. If you can get something in your garden that looks colourful but is going to drown out all the weeds. What isn't very nice in the garden is this stuff. It's a form of buttercup, and it is really, really invasive, and I will at some point be taking out even more of that this year, because it really, really does like choke things up, which I don't approve of. So what have we got here? Right then, we are now into the land of plastic and real. So just here we've got some ajuga, which has got a lovely purple flower on when it comes out. They look like little purple Christmas trees. Then we've got the fake planting, and as you can see there, we've got 2 lots of fake planting, but yet it looks real, which is marvellous, I think, for the money. And then we wander all the way back now to show you the sun trap and the bench. Let's pull out a little bit and show you this a bit more. So this is just by the house, and it always gets the sun, and it was a very, you know, you just sort of one day think, oh, what if I just move that thing and move that thing there? And it was a case we had an old bench. It needed just moving out of the way just while we decided what we were going to do with it. And the sun came out, and we sat down and went, oh, a sun trap. So what we decided to do at that point was buy an actual bench, a brand new bench, pop it there, and with the fake greenery that you see that goes up the back of the fence, it now creates a lovely little sitting area with some LED lights, other bits and pieces, and it's just a really nice cosy place to sit that's sheltered but still lovely and warm in the sunshine, if you don't want to sit down here on the terrace area. So I'm just wandering through the lawn now, picking my way through the buttercups and daisies, just to bring you right the way back to the start and show you, I think, what can I show you? How about some pink on the chocolate heuchera? So if you like what you've seen, that's lovely. You can tap the like, you can subscribe, which is free, you can add a comment, and you can hear me again in the next video. Bye bye for now.